Be me, Femanon, 22 years old and apparently delusional, studying sociology at community college, working part-time at coffee shop, listening to my friends constantly complain about dating apps, Hannah whining about how all guys are either broke or jerks, Chloe saying she can't find anyone with ambition, my face when I'm sitting there tired of their shallow complaints, decide to prove a point about how superficial modern dating has become, going to find the most hopeless guy and show everyone that personality matters more, download dating apps with a mission to find ultimate lost cause, scroll through dozens of basic chads and finance bros, then I find him. Profile says Alex, 24, enjoys gaming and anime. Photos show scrawny guy with messy hair wearing graphic tees. Bio literally just says looking for someone who gets it. That feel when you know you've found your project. Swipe right immediately. We match within minutes. His first message is, wow, can't believe someone like you matched with me. Red flag number 1. But I'm committed to this social experiment. We start chatting. Turns out he's been unemployed for 8 months, lives with his parents, spends most days playing World of Warcraft. His daily routine is wake up at 2 p.m., game until 4 a.m., repeat, but he's actually funny in a self-deprecating way. Makes references to obscure anime I've never heard of. Tells me about his epic raids, like they're legitimate accomplishments. My face when I realize I've matched with peak NEET energy, decide to meet up anyway. Convinced I can be his motivation, suggest coffee at the shop where I work so I have home field advantage. He shows up 20 minutes late wearing the same shirt from his profile photos, approaches my table nervously like he's about to confess to senpai. Sorry I'm late, had to help my mom with groceries, he says. Translation: she drove him here because he doesn't have a car. Conversation actually flows pretty well though. He's passionate about things, just weird things like rare Pokemon cards, knows everything about Japanese culture from watching too much anime, genuinely listens when I talk about school and work, that feel when the broken bird might actually be salvageable. We start dating regularly. I'm determined to fix his life. First mission: get him a job application somewhere, literally any entry-level position to build confidence. He applies to 3 places over 2 weeks, acts like it's Herculean effort, gets rejected from GameStop for being overqualified. My face when someone can be overqualified for selling video games. Meanwhile, I'm working 25 hours a week, plus full-time classes. He compliments my work ethic, but shows no signs of developing his own. Every date I have to pay because he's between opportunities. Starts expecting me to cover everything like I'm his sugar mama. Introduces me to his friend group, all fellow NEETs and basement dwellers. They worship me like I'm some goddess for dating one of them. Alex is so lucky, they keep saying. You're way out of his league. My face when even his friends think I'm settling. 2 months in, and he's gotten more comfortable, aka more lazy. Cancels dates to raid with his guild, says it's important. When we do hang out, it's always at his house watching anime. His room smells like energy drinks and broken dreams. Mom brings us snacks like we're 12 years olds having a play date. She thanks me for being a positive influence on her son. That feel when his own mother is grateful someone tolerates him. Start suggesting activities that require leaving the house. Hiking, museums, literally anything that involves sunlight. He agrees but complains the entire time about being tired, brings portable charger for his phone so he can check game notifications. At art museum. He's more interested in Pokemon Go than actual culture. People stare at us, probably wondering what I'm doing with this guy. My friends start making comments about my charity case boyfriend. Lily asks if I'm going through some kind of psychological crisis. Grace straight up tells me I can do better and should stop slumming. Defend him to everyone but privately starting to see their point. 3 months in, and the novelty is wearing off fast. He still hasn't found a job despite my constant encouragement. Spends money his parents give him on gaming subscriptions and collectibles. Meanwhile, I'm stressed about rent and student loans. My face when I realize I'm dating a man-child who's older than me. Try having serious conversation about his future plans. He talks about wanting to be a game streamer or maybe learn coding, but never actually does anything toward these goals. Just talks about them while playing the same game for 12 hours daily. That feel when your boyfriend's biggest achievement this week was reaching level 80. Start feeling like his mother instead of his girlfriend, constantly reminding him to shower, eat real food, apply for jobs. He gets defensive when I suggest basic adult responsibilities. You're trying to change me, he whines. I thought you liked me as I am. My face when the guy I'm trying to help thinks I'm the problem. breaking point comes during family dinner at my parents' house. Spent weeks preparing him, told him to dress nice and be social. He shows up in wrinkled khakis and Pokemon t-shirt, barely speaks during dinner except to ask for Wi-Fi password, spends entire meal checking his phone for raid notifications. My dad asks what he does for work. Awkward silence follows. I'm exploring my options, he finally says. Translation: unemployed for nearly a year with no prospects. Parents are polite, but I can see the judgment in their eyes. That feel when you have to explain to your family why you're dating down. After dinner, he complains that my parents were intimidating, says they made him feel bad for not having a traditional career path. My face when he's more upset about being judged than actually changing. Realize I've become the type of girl who makes excuses for her loser boyfriend. Friends are tired of hearing me defend him. Coworkers ask why I'm always covering extra shifts to pay for dates. Even his own parents hint that maybe I deserve someone more motivated. 4 months in, and I'm emotionally exhausted from this project. He's actually gotten worse instead of better, more dependent on me, less willing to do anything independently. Treats me like his personal life coach and ATM combined. Still talks about big plans but never takes any actual steps. My face when I realize I haven't fixed anything, just enabled more laziness. Final straw happens during anime convention weekend. He begs me to go, promises it'll be fun and educational, spend entire weekend watching him geek out over voice actors. He buys $200 worth of figurines with money I lent him for job applications. Waits in line for 3 hours to get autograph from some anime voice actress. Meanwhile, I'm bored out of my mind, surrounded by fellow NEETs. Overhear a group of cosplayers talking about their careers and hobbies. Realize there are people who love anime but still function as adults. My face when I see what healthy nerds actually look like. That feel when you realize your boyfriend isn't quirky, just useless. On drive home, he's excited about all the stuff he bought, talking about next convention and how he wants to cosplay. I ask how he plans to afford costume when he can't afford gas money. Gets quiet and sulky, says I'm being negative about his interests. My face when he thinks pointing out reality is being unsupportive. That night, I have honest conversation with myself. This wasn't about proving dating could be deeper than surface level. This was about my savior complex and need to feel superior. I wanted to be the cool girl who saw potential where others saw failure. But some people are comfortable being failures and don't want to change. My face when I realize I've been dating him to feel better about myself. Next day I text him, we need to talk. Meet at coffee shop where we had first date, feels like full circle moment. He shows up in same shirt again. Some things never change. I think we want different things, I tell him gently. He immediately gets defensive, asks if this is about money or my friends. It's about effort, I explain. I need someone who tries. He argues that he does try, lists all his gaming achievements. My face when he thinks virtual accomplishments count as life progress. Breakup is messy. He accuses me of being shallow like everyone else. Says I led him on and gave him false hope. That feel when the guy you tried to help makes you the villain. Blocks me on everything immediately. Very mature response. Friends are relieved. Parents are diplomatically supportive. Coworkers stop asking why I look tired all the time. My face when I realize how much stress this relationship caused me. 2 weeks later, I see his dating profile again. Already back online. Bio now says looking for someone who accepts me as I am. Translation: seeking new enabler for his lifestyle choices. That feel when you realize he learned nothing from the experience. Run into his mom at grocery store a month later. She asks if we're still together. I explain we broke up. Probably for the best, she sighs. I was hoping you'd motivate him. Tells me he's back to his old routine. No job applications submitted. My face when his own mother admits I was fighting a losing battle. 6 months later, I'm dating someone from my study group. He has a job, car, apartment, and basic hygiene. We split bills fairly and both contribute to relationship equally. My friends approve, parents are proud, life feels normal again. That feel when you realize healthy relationships don't require fixing anyone. See Alex at game store while buying gift for new boyfriend. He looks exactly the same, still unemployed and living at home. Nods at me awkwardly. We don't speak. My face when I realize some people choose to stay broken. Learned valuable lesson about the difference between supporting someone and enabling them. Also learned that trying to date down to prove a point is stupid and condescending. That feel when your social experiment taught you more about yourself than society. Still cringe thinking about that Pokemon shirt at family dinner. Be me, 21, total disaster in the kitchen. Can barely make instant ramen without burning water somehow. Living off pizza rolls and energy drinks like a true degenerate. Meet Femanon Violet at community college cooking class. She's this tiny girl, maybe 5'2", always wearing oversized sweaters, has this quiet confidence when handling knives and spices. Meanwhile, I nearly cut my finger making a sandwich. She notices my pathetic attempts at basic cooking skills. "Do you want me to help you?" she asks softly. My face when the cute girl offers to save me from culinary suicide. Turns out she's been cooking since age 12, basically Gordon Ramsay in anime girl form. Starts showing me simple recipes, patient as a saint. Her hands guiding mine while dicing onions smells like vanilla and determination. That feel when a girl is teaching you life skills your mom never did. We start meeting after class for cooking sessions. Her tiny apartment kitchen becomes my personal culinary boot camp. She teaches me everything from scrambled eggs to homemade pasta. Gets genuinely excited when I don't burn the garlic bread. "You're actually getting good at this," she says with rare smile. My face when cooking goddess thinks I have potential. 3 weeks in, and I'm making decent meals for first time in my life. But something's happening to Violet that I didn't expect. She keeps taste testing everything we make together. "Just to make sure the seasoning is right," she explains. Starts bringing Tupperware containers to take leftovers home. That feel when your cooking teacher becomes your biggest customer. Notice her sweaters are getting tighter around the middle. Not complaining. She looks softer and more cuddly somehow. Catches me staring one day while we're making beef stew. "What are you looking at, dummy?" she snaps, face turning red. Classic tsundere behavior, emerging as she gets more comfortable. My face when the quiet girl turns into anime stereotype. 2 months of cooking lessons, and she's gained visible weight, cheeks are rounder, sweaters straining against new curves. She's developed this habit of finishing whatever I can't eat. "Waste not, want not," she says, while polishing off my leftover lasagna. Starts getting defensive when I mention her increased appetite. "It's just quality control, someone has to make sure you're improving." My face when she's making excuses to eat more of my cooking. Her personality changes too, becomes more bratty and demanding. "Your carbonara needs more cheese, make it again. This bread is too dense, do it over." But then she'll get embarrassed and add please quietly. That feel when your student becomes your harshest critic. She starts showing up to my place unannounced around dinner time. "I was just in the neighborhood," she lies while eyeing my kitchen. Always finds excuses to stay for meals. "I should supervise to make sure you don't burn anything." Sits at my table expectantly while I cook for both of us. My face when I realize I've become her personal chef. 4 months in, and she's gained at least 20 pounds. Sweaters replaced with loose-fitting dresses and stretchy pants, but somehow looks even cuter with soft, rounded features. Catches me staring again during our ramen-making session. "Stop looking at me like that, pervert," she huffs, but doesn't actually move away from where I'm standing. That feel when tsundere is tsunderering, but secretly likes attention. Her appetite becomes legendary, finishing portions meant for 2 people. "Your cooking has improved so much," she says between massive bites. Starts requesting specific dishes, always her favorites. "Tomorrow we should make those honey-glazed pork buns again." My face when she's basically commissioning meals at this point. One night she shows up looking upset, eyes red from crying. "Some girls at school were being mean," she sniffles. Apparently they called her chunky and made pig noises that feel when you want to commit violence against bullies. "They're just jealous," I tell her while making comfort food. She curls up on my couch, looking small despite her new softness. "Do you think I'm getting fat?" she asks quietly. Most dangerous question in the history of relationships. "I think you look perfect," I say honestly. She blushes and hides face in throw pillow. "Dummy, you're just saying that." My face when even compliments make her tsundere mode activate. Make her favorite chicken katsu curry to cheer her up. She eats 3 helpings while we watch slice of life anime. Falls asleep against my shoulder, warm and soft. That feel when your cooking student has become your cuddly companion. Wake up next morning to find her raiding my fridge. "I was just checking your ingredients." She lies with mouth full of leftover cake. Starts staying over more often. Claims it's for cooking supervision. Really just wants access to midnight snacks I keep making. My face when she's basically moved in under pretense of cooking lessons. 6 months later, and she's gained 35 pounds. Looks completely different. Went from tiny waif to soft, rounded, huggable girl. Personality fully evolved into demanding tsundere princess. "Make me those fried chicken balls you did last week. But with extra sauce this time and don't burn them." That feel when your student has become your adorable food critic. Late one night, she's particularly hungry after study session. I want your balls, she says seriously. Nearly choke on my drink, thinking she means something else. Your fried balls, dummy, the ones with the crispy coating. My face when innocent food request sounds like direct threat. She notices my reaction and realizes how it sounded, turns bright red and starts stuttering. Not those balls, you pervert, the food balls. I know what you meant, I laugh. She throws pillow at me but can't hide her embarrassed smile. That feel when tsundere accidentally makes innuendo. Spend rest of night making her favorite fried meatballs. She eats dozen of them while calling me various insults. These are acceptable, I guess. Don't let it go to your head. But keeps asking for more with pleased expression. My face when she's completely addicted to my cooking. Realize I'm completely addicted to cooking for her. Seeing her happy and satisfied after a good meal gives me purpose. Started as cooking lessons, but became something much more domestic. She's gained weight, but also gained confidence around me. No longer shy, quiet girl, now bratty, demanding princess, but still gets embarrassed when I compliment her. That feel when you've accidentally domesticated a tsundere. 8 months later, we're basically married without the paperwork. She lives at my place permanently, claiming it's temporary. Just until I find better apartment, she lies while organizing my spice rack. Has strong opinions about every meal I make. Needs more salt. Too much pepper. Make it again, but better this time. My face when she's become Gordon Ramsay, but cute and chubby. Friends ask why I spend so much money on groceries. Can't explain that I'm feeding a tsundere with bottomless appetite. She gets jealous when other girls compliment my cooking. They don't appreciate your technique like I do, she pouts. Possessive of both me and my culinary skills. That feel when your cooking teacher has claimed ownership of you. One day she's looking at old photos from when we first met. I was so skinny back then, she says thoughtfully. Do you miss it? I ask carefully. She considers this while eating homemade cookies. No way, dummy. I like being soft and comfortable. Plus, someone has to make sure your cooking stays good. My face when she's rationalized her weight gain as quality control. Late night, she admits she was lonely before we started cooking together. Food tastes better when someone makes it with love, she says quietly. Then immediately gets embarrassed and adds, not that you love me or anything. Classic tsundere unable to accept affection directly. That feel when you realize cooking brought you both exactly what you needed. She needed someone to care for her. I needed someone to care for. Perfect symbiotic relationship built on carbs and cuddles. 10 months later, and she's completely transformed. Soft, round, demanding, but incredibly happy. Still insists on supervising every meal I cook, for quality control purposes only, but falls asleep against me every night with satisfied smile. My face when I successfully domesticated a tsundere through cooking. Best decision ever was signing up for that cooking class. Be me, 23, working night shift at 24-hour diner. Basically vampire schedule, sleep all day, serve coffee to degenerates all night. Most customers are drunk college kids or truckers passing through. Then there's this one regular who shows up every Tuesday at 2 a.m., sits in corner booth, orders black coffee and stares at laptop screen. Never talks to anyone, tips exactly 15%, leaves after 2 hours. She's got this whole goth librarian aesthetic going on. Black hair, thick glasses, always wearing dark oversized sweaters. My face when I realize I'm attracted to the mysterious midnight regular. Start paying attention to what she's doing on her laptop. Looks like she's writing something, typing furiously for hours. Sometimes she'll pause and stare out window with this bitter expression that feel when you want to know someone's story, but they're clearly antisocial. After 3 weeks of serving her coffee, I finally work up courage. Working on anything interesting? I ask while refilling her cup. She looks up like I just interrupted her curing cancer. It's a blog about why modern dating is fundamentally broken, she says flatly. My face when the mysterious goth girl is apparently a femcel blogger. Sounds deep, I say, immediately regretting how stupid that sounds. She gives me this look like I'm the most basic normie alive. You wouldn't understand. You're probably one of those guys who thinks personality matters. That feel when being called normal is somehow an insult. She goes back to typing, but I can tell she's slightly less hostile. Next week, she shows up with different laptop stickers, anime girls, and some band logos I don't recognize. Catch glimpse of her screen. She's on some forum arguing with people. All moids are the same. They only want Stacy types. She's typing. My face when I realize she's deep in the femcel rabbit hole. Start bringing her free pie slices because she looks underweight. I didn't order this, she says suspiciously. Kitchen made too many. Would just go to waste, I lie. She accepts it but acts like I'm trying to poison her. That feel when showing basic kindness is treated like elaborate scheme. 2 months of Tuesday night interactions, and she's slightly warmer, still won't tell me her name. I just think of her as blog girl. Overhear her on phone call one night. Sounds like arguing with parents. No, Mom, I'm not coming to Thanksgiving. I have work. She lies. Hangs up and goes back to angry typing with more intensity. My face when I realize she's spending holidays alone writing hate blogs. Thanksgiving week she doesn't show up for first time. Feel weirdly disappointed. Realized I was looking forward to her visits. She comes back next week looking even more tired than usual. Family holiday go well? I ask casually. Spend it researching hypergamy statistics, she responds without looking up. That feel when someone uses Thanksgiving to study dating inequality. Start reading. About femcel culture online to understand her better. Holy crap, this stuff is dark. Makes incel forums look optimistic. Lots of posts about being genetic failures and romance being scam. Find what I think might be her blog. Writing style matches. Posts about being invisible to moids and accepting eternal loneliness. My face when I realize this girl has completely given up on human connection. Decide to be more intentional about our interactions. Start recommending menu items, asking about her writing projects. She's clearly not used to male attention that isn't online harassment. Why are you being nice to me? She asks one night. Because you seem cool, I say honestly. She snorts like this is funniest joke ever. Cool, people don't spend Tuesday nights alone in diners. That feel when someone's self-loathing is so deep they can't accept compliments. Gradually, she starts sharing more details about her life. Works remote tech support job, lives alone, hasn't dated in 4 years. Last relationship ended when guy dumped her for someone more outgoing. Basically retreated from all social interaction except anonymous forums. My face when I realize she's not actually antisocial, just deeply hurt. 4 months of Tuesday meetings and she finally tells me her name. It's Ivy, she says quietly, like it's classified information. Start using her name when greeting her. See tiny smile she tries to hide. She begins staying later, sometimes until my shift ends at 6 a.m. We talk about anime, books, her theories about societal decay. Surprisingly funny when she's not being bitter about dating. That feel when the femcel blogger is actually interesting person underneath. One night she shows up visibly upset, laptop bag clutched defensively. Everything okay? I ask while pouring her usual coffee. Got doxxed by some incels for disagreeing with them, she mutters. Apparently posted something they didn't like. Now they're harassing her. My face when even femcel spaces aren't safe for actual women. Spend my break sitting with her while she rants about online toxicity. This is why I don't trust anyone, she says, but she's trusting me right now. Realize she's been coming here because it's the only place she feels safe. That feel when your diner booth is someone's sanctuary. Start walking her to her car. When my shift ends, neighborhood gets sketchy. She protests at first, but clearly appreciates the gesture. You don't have to do this. I'm used to being alone, she says. Doesn't mean you should be, I reply. She goes quiet, processing this concept like it's foreign language. My face when basic human kindness confuses her. 6 months in, and she's become highlight of my week. Still writes her blogs, but talks to me about other stuff too. Shows me her favorite webcomics, recommends horror movies, has strong opinions about everything from coffee preparation to anime plot holes. That feel when the antisocial femcel has more personality than most people. One Tuesday she doesn't show up, first time since Thanksgiving. Next week she's back, but looks different, more tired and withdrawn. Where were you last week? I ask while refilling sugar dispensers. Had to go on a date, she says like describing root canal procedure. My face when the femcel went on actual date. Apparently her therapist convinced her to try online dating again. Disaster doesn't begin to describe it, she explains. Guy spent entire dinner talking about his ex and asking for dating advice. Then complained that she wasn't bubbly enough. Told you moids only want performative femininity, she concludes bitterly. That feel when one bad date confirms all her worst theories. But something's different in how she's talking about it. Less hopeless resignation, more analytical disappointment. Maybe the problem isn't that I'm undateable, she muses. Maybe I'm just meeting the wrong people. My face when femcel blogger has moment of self-awareness. Start suggesting she try meeting people through hobbies instead of apps. Where would I meet anyone? I work from home and hate crowds, she points out. Valid concerns, but she's actually considering possibilities now that feel when someone starts believing they deserve better. 8 months of Tuesday conversations and she's noticeably different. Still wears all black and writes pessimistic blog posts, but laughs more, complains less, seems more present during our talks, starts asking about my life instead of just venting about hers. "Do you ever get lonely working nights?" she asks one evening. Honestly, yes, most social interactions are with drunk people or Ivy. Sometimes, but I like the quiet, I tell her. She nods like this makes perfect sense to her. My face when we understand each other's introversion. She starts staying until almost dawn, our conversations getting deeper. Talks about feeling invisible her whole life, always being overlooked. "Even in high school, I was the weird girl nobody noticed," she explains. "That feel when you realize someone's been carrying rejection for years." "I notice you," I say without thinking. She freezes mid-sentence, staring at me with wide eyes. "What do you mean?" she asks carefully. "I mean, I look forward to Tuesdays because you're here. I think you're interesting and funny and way smarter than you give yourself credit for." She's completely silent, processing this information. My face when I accidentally confessed feelings to a femcel blogger. She starts coming in earlier, staying later, clearly enjoying our time together, but also getting more anxious about something. Starts making comments about how I'm too good for someone like her. "You could date any normal girl, why waste time talking to me?" she asks. Classic self-sabotage behavior, pushing away before getting hurt. That feel when someone's so used to rejection, they create it preemptively. 10 months in, and she finally works up. Courage to ask personal question. "Do you actually like me or do you just feel sorry for me?" she says quietly. Most vulnerable she's ever been, hands shaking around the coffee cup. "Ivy, I genuinely enjoy spending time with you," I say seriously. "You're one of the most interesting people I've met. Even if I'm a bitter femcel who writes angry blogs," she asks. "Especially because you're complex and real instead of fake positive." My face when I realize I'm attracted to her authenticity. She starts crying. First time I've seen her show this much emotion. "Nobody's ever said anything like that to me before," she whispers. That feel when you realize someone's been starving for genuine connection. Things change after that conversation. She's more open and trusting. Starts texting me outside of Tuesday visits, sharing memes and articles. Still writes her blog, but posts are less bitter, more analytical. "Maybe the problem isn't that romance is dead," she writes one week. "Maybe I was looking in the wrong places." My face when femcel blogger starts having hope again. 12 months later, we're officially dating. Weirdest origin story ever. She still comes to the diner on Tuesdays, but now it's like actual dates. Brings me books to read, I bring her food to try. Her blog has evolved into commentary on online dating culture instead of pure rage. "Turns out some moids are actually decent," she posts, clearly about me. Comment section loses their minds, calling her a traitor to the cause. That feel when your girlfriend gets canceled by femcel community for finding love. She doesn't care. Too busy being happy for first time in years. Still wears all black and has strong opinions about everything, but smiles more, trusts more, believes in possibilities again. My face when I accidentally rehabilitated a femcel through late night coffee service. Best Tuesday night, regular ever.